Hi everyone, I hope you're doing well. In today's video I'm going to be doing my November favorites. As always, it is going to be get ready with me style, so here is the finished look. I hope you like it, I hope you enjoy, and if you're new here I'd love for you to subscribe if you have not already, and let's get into it. I'm going to start with skincare so I can prep my face for makeup, and my face is feeling really dry, and I have two moisturizers I want to talk about, actually three of them because one of them is an evening one and two are like daytime ones. So the first is the Stratia. I think this is now called Lipid Gold, but this is their lightweight skin strengthening moisturizer, and this is the second of these bottles that I've finished. I think it's now repackaged as well and their whole vibe looks different, but I love this so much, and it's just a very nice moisturizing but lightweight moisturizer. I also strangely love the smell. I feel like a lot of people might not like the smell because it kind of has an interesting smell, but I like it, and I had my sister try it and she said it smells like tea, so that could be good for some of you as well. But yeah, it's just like such an amazing moisturizer. This would be great for people who have oily skin, or if you have dry skin, this would be great for your morning moisturizer, or if you're using an active such as retinol, something more harsh on the skin, more drying on the skin, this would be really good to sandwich the product with, because this is such a lightweight but moisturizing product. It's very good for sandwiching, and I do that all the time. I've clearly been loving this, and I'm gonna be sad when this is gone. Another moisturizer that is a little bit of a throwback, because the Stratia one I used to use all the time and this one as well. I'm reintroducing the Phytosurgence Verdant Forcefield moisturizer. This is their restorative moisturizer with green tea, licorice root, centella, PHAs, allantoin, and panthenol. I love this moisturizer so much. I really play around with different skincare products because I am sent so many. So when I get to return to a product that I absolutely love, it's such a treat for me. And using this again was just so nice. I just remembered how incredible and moisturizing this is. And it smells good. It has this beautiful like green tint to it. It is so hydrating to the skin, doesn't feel heavy at all, and I think anyone who doesn't like a heavy feel on their face or maybe has oily skin would absolutely love this. And yeah, it's just been so amazing. I'm gonna actually use this as my moisturizer today to prep my skin for makeup, and it just feels so incredible on the skin. Like my skin just drank a big bottle of water with liquid IV in it. It's just very moisturized, very hydrated, and it feels like it's actually going into the skin and not just sitting on top of it. It makes my skin feel good all day long. I just absolutely love it. I also really like the fact that it has PHAs in it. As someone who is acne prone and who gets like a lot of blackheads and just like clogged pores, I love that it has that exfoliant in it because it's really light and gentle, but it's still there. So this has been a huge favorite as well. If you have not tried this, definitely recommend, and don't sleep on Phytosurgence skincare. The last moisturizer I've been loving is the DAMDAM Mochi Luminous Cream Moisturizer. This is such an incredible, thick, luxurious moisturizer. The texture is so nice and just like pleasant, and when you rub it across your face it just feels really comforting. It's a very like pillowy, soft, cushiony type of moisturizer. I asked my best friend to try this and I explained it as like cushiony, marshmallowy, pillowy on the skin, and she's like, oh wow, yeah, it really does feel like that. And I asked her what else she thought it felt like, and she said waxy. I totally agree with that. I feel like that sounds kind of bad, but in my opinion I like that because it's creating this really good moisturizing barrier on the skin, and this is just a perfect last step in your evening skincare routine to just lock everything in, and it's just a joy to use. I love the texture of this so much. To me, it is unscented and it has not irritated my skin whatsoever, so I definitely recommend for anyone who has sensitive dry skin. It's been incredible. Or anyone who needs a thick, nice, luxurious moisturizer for the evening, especially in the winter time while all of our skin is getting very dry. I'll speak for myself, while my skin is getting very dry. It's just been so nice, and I have a few sample sizes and they've lasted me quite a bit, so I'm excited to keep using those. The last skincare item I want to talk about is the Saltair Golden Hour Body Oil. This is so nice, smells incredible, and makes my skin look amazing. I will put some on so you can see what that looks like, and I've noticed a difference in the softness of my skin for sure. I've been using this for like maybe 3 weeks now, and it's just been so nice. I love the packaging as well because it has a pump, so it's not messy when I'm using it, and I really appreciate that with body oils because they can get really messy really quick, but with a pump it keeps it more contained. Yeah, I've just really been liking this. I haven't used too many Saltair products. I'm really liking what I've received so far, and I'm excited to get into more of their products. This just makes my skin look so like shiny and healthy and glowy and goddess-like. I love the way my skin looks, and after I put this on, I'll like look in the mirror and I'll like move my shoulders back and forth, and I just love the light that bounces off of my shoulders when I'm wearing this, and my like collarbones and everything, and it just makes me feel so good about myself and so like moisturized and fancy. I don't know. A body oil is so fun to use. It is kind of an extra step, but I think it's worth it because it has really changed the texture of my skin after using it for the last like 3 weeks. And I just smell amazing after using it as well. Okay, let's move on to makeup. I'm really excited about all of these, and a lot of them are not new, so I'm excited to talk about them because of that. But the first product I have to talk about is new. This is the Huda Beauty Easy Blur Natural Airbrush Foundation, and this is so good. Everyone who's been raving about this is so right because this is just a very natural, lightweight foundation. I love the coverage for my skin personally, and I love applying it with a little makeup spatula. I think I talked about this in my Japan haul, but this has been so nice to apply this product with. So I'll just put a little bit on the back of my hand. I also need very little of this product when I'm using a spatula. And you just take the spatula and slide it across the little dollop of foundation that you have, so it has an even layer of foundation at one of the edges. And then you just put this across your skin, and it creates this really nice thin layer of foundation all over your face. I find that I have to use less product and everything just looks a lot more natural as well. So once I have the product spread across my face, I then blend it in with a foundation brush. This is another favorite. This is the Huda Beauty Face Base Brush, and I think this came out when the Easy Blur foundation came out. I'm not sure, but it has been so good. I love how dense it is. It's really dense and really soft and just blends foundation into my skin beautifully. It's very loved. As you can see, it's kind of gross looking. I definitely need to wash it. But as you can see, I get really lightweight coverage, and it was really quick and easy because I just spread the product over my face, one thin layer, and then pounced it out with a brush. It just looks really soft and natural on the skin, and I love the coverage and the shade of it. It's so good for my skin tone. I'm actually going to do 2 layers of the foundation with the spatula, so I'm gonna slide this across the foundation again and put it across my face. When I want more coverage, I'll do this, but if I want lighter weight coverage, I'll just stay with that one like stripe across my face. I would say this is like light to medium to buildable coverage. It really depends on how you choose to apply the product. Using a makeup spatula, you are going to get a lighter coverage because it's just creating a very thin layer of foundation all over your face, and it really does take less product to get the coverage that I want. Yeah, I just really like it. This is one side with versus without, and I like that it creates a very even thin layer on my skin because I often can overdo it with foundation, and the foundation just feels heavy on my skin, and it's my fault because I've just applied like a ish ton of foundation. But this really keeps me tamed with how much I'm actually putting on my skin because it just allows me to put a very thin layer at a time, and I've been loving the feeling because my skin just doesn't feel weighed down and like heavy by so many layers of foundation. On this side, I think you get a better idea of what this looks like on dark spots, dark marks, and blemishes because I had quite a few around here. And this is the coverage. It's not fully covered, but I think it did a good job with my skin still peeking through, and that's what I like because I like a more natural finish. And yeah, I think it's so pretty, so natural. I love the finish of this. It's like almost a little dewy, but not. I guess like natural finish, but I feel like it leans a little bit more dewy than it does natural, and I don't know, I just really love it. And I used just 2 like little squeezes, very tiny squeezes on the back of my hand, and I still have like extra on the back of my hand as well. I don't have a new concealer or color corrector to talk about, so I'm going to put these two on and I'll be right back. This is what the base looks like now with concealer, and I just want to emphasize again how good this brush is. It's just so soft. Makes everything look so seamless and beautiful. So yeah, I love this brush with the Easy Blur foundation, but with so many things as well. Like, it just blended out the rest of my concealer so beautifully and quickly. I don't know if I've talked about this in a favorites video in the past. I feel like I have, but this is the Fenty Beauty Matchstick in the shade Mocha 03, and I love this so much. It is such a beautiful shade for me, and I love the formula so much because it has like properties of a cream product, which I really like, but then it kind of like dries down and applies almost like a powder, and I just love the combination of the application of like a cream but the finish of a powder, and it feels very, very thin on the skin as well. And I think that's what I like the most about it, other than the fact that it's very easy to apply and blends like seamlessly and very quickly as well. But I just think it's so pretty. I'll just take a dense like angled brush like this one. This is the Sigma Soft Angled Cheek F43, and I'll just drag it across the product like this, not too much, and I will just pounce this right here, kind of above the hollow of my cheek. And it just blends so quickly and seamlessly and gives me the perfect shade on my cheek. I just love how it warms up my face, and it's so quick and easy. It's almost blurring on the skin as well, and it's like almost mattifying. I feel like it mattified this section of my cheek just a little bit, and that's what I mean about having like properties of a powder product as well. And it just works so nicely. It is so thin, like I said, I can barely feel it on my face. I feel like the theme of a couple of products here is that I don't overdo it because the products don't allow me to. Because the Fenty bronzer stick is such a thin, light formula, even if I do go overboard, it won't look like that. So I have been loving it for that reason as well. I would really love for them to come out with like matte shades of this, but blushes. I think that would be so pretty. I also want to pick up the Pearl shade. I don't know if any of you have heard about that, but I heard it's a stunning, gorgeous highlighter that looks like wet on the skin but lasts a really long time. It was really popular on TikTok, I think. It also just doesn't look patchy on my skin either, which I really appreciate, especially with a cream bronzer. I think it's really easy to get patchy application with a cream bronzer. So I've been loving this so much. 'Tis the season for a warm, toasty blush, and I've been loving these two lately. The first is the Mob Beauty Powder Blush in the shade M19 Blush. I think that's the name. I think they just name their things with a letter and then number. So this is M19, and I just think this is the prettiest, like almost rosy terracotta shade, and on my skin it just looks very like burnt, toasty, warm on my skin, and it's so pretty. I'm gonna apply one of them on this cheek and the other on this cheek. They're very similar shades anyway, so I think it'll look fine. I'm also gonna apply this with a fluffier angled brush. This is the BK Beauty Angie Hot and Flashy A507 brush. I also kind of like to drag it up here on my face to warm my skin up even more, but I love this shade. I feel like it looks really natural but like toasty and warm and welcoming on my skin. I love it. And Mob Beauty has such incredible products. I love their cream blushes. I love their powder eyeshadows. I have a palette and I love doing looks with it, and they're great. They blend out really nicely, as does the blush. And their packaging is like paper, but it's not like annoying paper packaging, if you know what I mean. It's pretty sturdy. And then I've also been loving the Patrick Ta Duo Blush in the shade She's Baked. This is another very like toasty, warm, burnt type of shade. I'm going to use the same brush, just cleaning it on a towel here. I'm going to do the Patrick Ta method where he applies the powder first and then the cream. But as you can see, it looks very similar to this one. Interesting how that works out. I have a type. I've never done this before, and they really do look like the same exact blush on my cheeks. That is so funny. And for the cream side, I'm going to use a fluffy, like dense domed brush. This is the BK Beauty 106 brush. And I'm just going to hit the top of my cheeks to get like a glowy finish. I'm going to do the same thing on the other side because it's like basically the same shade, and just to even everything out. This is the blush all done. I just think it looks really like toasty and warm, like I've just been sitting by a warm fire with a large quilted blanket over me and I'm drinking some hot cocoa, and I'm a little too close to the fire so my cheeks turn like burnt red. But I'm still very cozy. You know what I mean? That's the vibe that this gives me. I don't particularly have a lip favorite, but I do want to show you this lip combo because I think it's so pretty and matches this look very well. It is the Glossier lip liner in the shade Buff, and I would call this a favorite as well, but I just haven't been using it enough to call it a favorite. I haven't like worn it enough times out in the real world to call it a favorite, so I'm not going to call it a favorite just yet, but I can see this becoming a favorite for me. And I definitely recommend applying the Glossier lip liners with a very moisturized lip so you get more playtime with it and it glides across your lips better, because these dry down pretty quickly. Is this shade not so beautiful? I love this shade so much. So gorgeous. I love so many shades from this line. I also want to do the thing where you like put the line down the middle of your lips to make them look more pouty. We'll see how that works. And on top to match it, I'm going to be putting the Glossier Hot Cocoa Balm Dotcom. This is such a pretty shade and it looks really good with this lip liner. And it smells so good. It smells like hot cocoa for real. This is the lip. I think it's so pretty and it's very moisturized. Good for the winter. And it matches so well with the cheeks, both of them, because they're like the same color. But I think it's such a pretty combo. I'm going to finish the look with a few freckles. And then I have one more favorite to talk about. I have this dark spot right here from a zit that I had, and I just put a little dot of freckle there and it gives me like a really cute beauty mark. I don't know, I like the placement of it. I lied, I actually have two more favorites to talk about. The first is the Hands of Hope Philosophy hand lotion. This is so good. It makes my hands feel so moisturized, and I was really worried that this was going to have like a really fragranced, strong scent to it, or be like way too perfumey and like noxious. Is that the right word? I don't know, just like causing headaches. It does not do that at all. It's unscented, which was such a happy surprise to me. It is just very, very moisturizing and makes my hands feel so soft, and I'm just so pleasantly surprised by this. I really wasn't expecting much. I haven't tried much from Philosophy, but this is so good and it's making me curious about more things from them. I know that they have really good smelling like body washes, but this hand cream has been my favorite and I'm like almost out of it, which makes me very sad. And the last favorite I have is a perfume. This is the Orebella, I think it's called Nightcap perfume. I'll make sure to put the correct name in the description box. It is such a good perfume. I think this is technically a perfume oil, so it's biphase and you have to like shake it up before you apply it, and it comes out as an oil so you can just like pat it on your skin. It kind of makes your skin glowy, but the smell of this is so nice and so fall/winter. This straight up smells like a fall cocktail, and it has like this really warm and spicy feeling to it, and it feels very like evening, warm, spicy wintertime. It gives very like I'm at a bar in the wintertime and I just ordered like a hot fall themed cocktail. This is what it reminds me of, and it just smells so good, and I really wasn't expecting that. I don't know what I was expecting. I don't think I was expecting anything, but I love this so much. It just really embodies this time of year and wanting to be like warm and cozy. And I also love the packaging. It kind of reminds me of dragon tails, like a dragon scale. That's what it makes me think of. It's just so beautiful. It is kind of annoying because you can't like sit it up straight, but it's whatever. But yeah, I love that perfume. I'll read the notes actually. So the top notes are ginger, cardamom, and guaiac wood. And the middle notes are vanilla, cistus, and the base is sandalwood and patchouli. So it's just like all of those warm, cozy, really inviting smells. And I just love the smell. I just love how I smell when I wear it. It really just grounds me and makes me feel excited for this season. I just love it. It just is, it's almost like nostalgic for me. Those were all of my favorites for November. I hope you enjoyed. Please let me know what your favorites were for November. I would love to know about them. Did we share any favorites? Did you have a favorite fragrance for fall and winter, or for November specifically? Would love to hear. And I hope you're having a good day wherever you are, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye!